Hello, it's me, Mario. And this is a review of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay, hello everyone. This is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with another video. And yes, because of my Mario hat, I'm going to be doing a review of the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie. The sequel, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, is coming out just next week on April 1st. And so I had just rewatched the first film from 2023, the Super Mario Brothers movie, or Super Mario Bros. Movie, from 2023 just to get ready. So this is my review of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Let's go! We open in the Ice Kingdom as a giant flying fortress prepares to descend upon it, raining down fire and brimstone. And that happens to be none other than the fortress of the King of the Koopas, Bowser. We see Bowser's castle descend upon the Ice Kingdom, as we see paratroopers and regular Koopas armed. And of course, Kamek, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. Then of course, we see the Koopa King himself pull up Bowser, King of the Koopas, voiced by the ever-talented Jack Black, who says, "Open the gates or die." And the gates open, and of course, you have defending the Ice Kingdom, penguins. Yes, that's right, blue penguins, mind you, who try to defend the Ice Kingdom by plowing Bowser with snowballs. And of course, the king of the penguins, the Penguin King, is voiced by Carey Payton. Who is Carey Payton, you ask? Well, he's the voice of Cyborg from Teen Titans. He says, "This is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield?" And Bowser says, "I do not." Kamek uses his magic to easily subdue the penguins. Then Bowser uses his fire breath to melt the castle walls. Kamek then uses his magic to make stairs of ice, only for Bowser to climb up those stairs and find the Power Star and gets his hand with it. Bowser proclaims, "With this, no one can stop me!" Then we cut to a commercial that is being played as an ad for, well, the Super Mario Brothers' plumbing business, of course, as we are introduced to this version of Mario and Luigi, voiced by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, who spent their life savings on this commercial advertising their plumbing business as a way to save Brooklyn and Queens and everywhere in between for New York. Of course, Mario is like saying in the pizza joint, "Are the accents a little too much?" But then, of course, they are said too much. It's perfect! Wahoo! As yes, you have this guy in the arcade, voiced by Charles Martinet, the actual voice of Mario and Luigi, the man who had voiced Mario and Luigi for 3 decades, mind you. He had been voicing Mario since 1995. I mean, that's a long time to be voicing a single character. And not just Mario, but he also did the voice of Luigi and Wario, Waluigi, yes. And even at one point, Donkey Kong. Anywho, the brothers prepare to head out of the pizza joint, only to be met by their ex-boss, Spike, who who grills the brothers about, who calls the brothers idiots and losers. Have you gotten one single call? Until they actually get their actual call after Luigi dropped his phone. And they get their call to action. Of course, we also see how Mario and Luigi's relationship is in this movie. I mean, Spike almost tries to pummel Luigi only for Mario to get in his face and say, "Hey, no one messes with my brother." And Spike calls Mario a joke. Mario himself does not take kindly to being called a joke. Or small time, if you will, since he and Luigi had just started their business. Next, Mario and Luigi go to try to get to their first job as their truck breaks down. But they begin running through the streets just to get to their first appointment. And mind you, this is a montage played to the Beastie Boys' No Sleep Till Brooklyn. So yes, because this movie is an Illumination movie, yeah, they use a lot of licensed songs in this movie. We got No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, Take On Me by a-ha, and even Thunderstruck by AC/DC, oddly enough, finds its way into this movie. Anyway, the brothers make it to their first appointment, which is at this really luxurious building, by the way, owned by this family. And of course, they have this dog. Luigi ends up stepping on the dog's bone by accident, earning the dog's wrath. Mario and Luigi do fix up the drain in the bathroom, only for hilarity to ensue when the dog comes and attacks the two brothers in the bathroom. And yeah, hilarity ensues as things get destroyed, and yeah, it didn't go so well for their first job. Then, of course, they arrive home. Mario and Luigi arrive back at their place to be greeted to a family dinner with their entire family there. So it's cool we actually get to meet Mario and Luigi's family. And yes, we meet, but of course the most important character at the dinner table was Mario and Luigi's father, who was also voiced by Charles Martinet. And, he tells Mario, "Look, you don't just go and quit your job just to follow some dream. And the odd thing is, you're bringing your brother down with you." And Mario does not take this too kindly. He just gets up from the dinner table, only for Mario's mother to give Mario's dad a, look. And he's like, "What? What did I say?" So, now we see Mario up in his room playing an NES, playing none other than the classic Kid Icarus game. So it's a really cool nod that we get the NES shown in this movie. So it's cool that they actually brought the NES in this movie, because it is the system that Mario made his name on. After all, the original Nintendo Entertainment System, where the Super Mario Bros. First video game, Super Mario Bros., debuted. So it's a really cool reference that we get in this movie. Especially since Mario was also playing Kid Icarus. Luigi comes in and he says, "Hey, cheer up, you're not bringing me down." And then Mario's like, "I'm sick and tired of feeling small time, Lou. I'm sick and tired of feeling like being told that what we can or can't do." It's not just Dad, it's everybody. Then, of course, a news announcement of a massive flood happening in the middle of the streets of Brooklyn comes on. And, of course, seeing the newscast, Mario and Luigi decide to hop into action and try to save Brooklyn. Mario's like, amateurs. They don't know where to look. So the two brothers ascend down the opposite manhole as they go to the pressure valve. As they go to try to make it to a pressure valve, the two brothers try to make it across to a pipe just to fix the pressure valve. However, they are unsuccessful when the pressure valve breaks off, and the two brothers fall down into the sewers. The two brothers eventually find themselves in a network of different pipes. Mario and Luigi come across a green pipe. However, Luigi gets sucked into the green pipe, leaving behind his wrench. Mario sees the wrench behind when he calls out for Luigi, and then of course the pipe sucks him up. The two brothers are sucked into different parts of a new world, and that being the Mushroom Kingdom, however. Well, Mario is sent to the Mushroom Kingdom, while Luigi, he is sent into the Darklands, which is part of Bowser's territory. Mario lands into the Mushroom Kingdom and he meets Toad, voiced by Michael Keegan. Yeah. Okay, I like the voice that Michael Keegan is actually voicing Toad in. I don't know why. It sounds very hyperactive, I guess to keep up with how Toad usually sounds, because Toad is a very hyperactive character. And he tells Mario, "You're in the Mushroom Kingdom. And anyway, maybe you should go and meet our princess. She'll know what to do." So Mario follows Toad into the kingdom itself. And I gotta say, I really love the way that Illumination made the Mushroom Kingdom come to life. How they brought the Mushroom Kingdom to life. We see the item boxes used for everyday occurrences here in the Mushroom Kingdom, especially for coins. And of course, I love the usage of the warp pipes in this segment, or in this part of the movie. Mario and Toad make it to the princess's castle, where Toad distracts the guards guarding the front entrance, while Mario sneaks in to try to see the princess. And then, of course, we cut to the princess herself, voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, who has learned about what had happened with Bowser, when Bowser had attacked the Ice Kingdom and stolen the Power Star. Princess Peach decides, okay, we are going to stop that monster Bowser. I am going to set a course for the Jungle Kingdom. I will set out for the Jungle Kingdom in the morning. Peach then runs into Mario, but right as Mario yells, "Princess!" Mario gets judo thrown by Peach. Okay. And then of course the Toads tackle Mario, and then Peach calls the Toads off and then says, "Wow, you're human. You're so small." And Mario's like, "Hey, I take offense to that." And Peach has never saw another person like her, so considering that she had been raised by the Toads ever since she was a baby. Oh yeah, we will get into Peach's backstory later on in this movie. But yeah. Mario tells her about what had happened to Luigi. And Peach says, "Listen, if your brother is in the custody of Bowser, then he is doomed. But I am planning to set out for the kingdom of the Kongs in the jungle. Mario says, "Well, I'm coming with you." After all, Mario does convince her by saying, "One way or another, you're gonna help me rescue my brother. Please?" Of course, Peach is like, "Okay, we'll see what you're made of." So Mario follows Peach to the balcony, and of course the balcony flies off, or detaches itself from the palace, and of course a giant power-up block emerges from the water below, from the sea below, and then splits into a series of platforms and creating a full-on obstacle course. Peach goes through the obstacle course really fast. And I mean, she is dominating this obstacle course like crazy. Mario's impressed with how Peach went through the obstacle course. Peach then tells Mario, "Alright, it's your turn. But before then, you're gonna need help." And so she hits a power-up box. And in the power-up box was none other than a super mushroom. And Mario's like, I don't want to do this. Does it gotta be a mushroom? Because I don't like... And then Peach forces him to eat it. So yes, another trait that was introduced about this version of Mario was that he is someone that just doesn't like mushrooms. Yeah. Considering that Mario in the games always needed to use the mushrooms, it's kind of refreshing to see how Mario has gotten used to the mushrooms, giving off that vibe of someone who just doesn't like mushrooms. And yes, he learns that, yeah, you get hit if you lose the power if you get hit. So we get our second montage of Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, as Mario is attempting to go through the obstacle courses, and failing each time. Seriously, Mario in this movie, yes, this is an origin movie after all. I mean, Mario's making several attempts to go through the obstacle course. Until his final try, he nearly gets it. He even smashes through the cardboard cutout of Bowser that was at the end of the obstacle course, and he almost makes it. Of course, that convinces Peach to bring Mario with her to the Jungle Kingdom. And yes, she does try to cheer Mario up with a pep talk. I mean, I really like the smaller moments with Mario and Peach in this movie, so I gotta give this movie credit where credit is due. They really do the smaller character moments really well with this movie. We fast forward to the Darklands, where Luigi finds himself being chased by none other than Dry Bones, by a whole horde of Dry Bones. And then they chase him into an old abandoned castle, only for Luigi to get captured by a group of Shy Guy, who also work for Bowser. Now we cut over to Bowser, along with his entire army, saying, "Thank you, my army. Now, I plan to marry the princess in a fairy tale wedding, as I plan to use this star to propose to her." But one of the Koopa Troopas says, "Well, what if she says no?" Only for Bowser to barbecue him and says, "Make no mistake, If she does say no, I will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom! Yes, so that's Bowser's plan. He basically wants to use the superstar and tries to propose to Peach in a fairy tale wedding, mind you. Knowing that Peach does hate him. Mario, Peach, and of course Toad set off for the Jungle Kingdom. As Toad says, "I won't let anything happen to you, Your Highness." As Peach is impressed by Toad and says, well, a toad not afraid of danger, huh? Well, you're coming too then." So, of course, the trio sets off. And we see the distant lands that our heroes are walking across. Whether it be walking across a bridge full of jumping cheeps to walking past the lands of the Yoshi, where we even see a pink Yoshi in the background. And of course, the trio then climbs the top of a mountain and then eventually reaches a field of fire flowers, where we see Peach use the fire flower to, well, get a fire started, of course, because this is a fire flower field they're walking through as they are setting up camp for the night. Peach then tells Mario that I didn't know where I came from. I was found and raised by the Toads, and then they trained me, and then when I came of age, they made me their princess. I actually love Peach's origin story in this movie, as she was a child who was found by the Toads and raised, until eventually, when she came of age, she became their ruler. That's a really cool origin story they gave Peach in this movie. Because we didn't know much about Peach in the games, but in the movies, we definitely know a lot about Peach. Of course, Bowser gets news of Mario's arrival in the Mushroom Kingdom when he learns that a mustachioed human has appeared in the Mushroom Kingdom. The princess has been training him. And yes, all this after Bowser had just began singing his love ballad to Peach. Or his love ballad about Princess Peach. Bowser did not take too kindly of Kamek's interruption and told him to jam with him. And he asked Kamek, "Does the princess like him?" And Kamek's like, "I'm not sure, sire." Bowser slams the piano cover on Kamek's fingers and says, "Find out who he is." "Yes, I'm on it, sire. But can I lift the cover?" But Bowser's like, "No. Pain is the best teacher." Our heroes then arrive into the Jungle Kingdom. As they reach the entrance of the Jungle Kingdom, they are greeted by a blonde ape wearing a white jacket and shades. And Peach is like, "We're here to see the king." And of course, he agrees to take them to the king reluctantly. And of course, he puts on his shades and we see Mario, Peach, and Toad ride on his bike as he begins taking them down into the palace and through the kingdom itself. And yes, we get a montage of them arriving to, like, going through the Jungle Kingdom streets with a montage of Take On Me. Yes, they were playing Take On Me for this montage, by the way. They arrive at the palace of the king, Cranky Kong, voiced by Fred Armisen. Peach is like saying, "Great King Cranky Kong, Bowser has the Power Star and is planning to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. We need your help and your army." But the king is like saying, "No." And Peach was warned by the minister that their Mad King does not make deals. Of course, Mario says to Cranky Kong, we're not leaving without that army." And Cranky Kong's like, "Okay, if you want my army, you're gonna have to fight my son." And Mario agrees to fight Cranky Kong's son, even though Peach pulls Mario aside and says, "What are you doing?" And Mario's saying, "Look, listen, you got a better idea? We're not gonna leave without that army, so I need to fight his son." So, of course, it would be a battle that would take place in the Great Kong's Coliseum. Of course, we then see Luigi being taken to Bowser. Bowser interrogates Luigi, saying this to Luigi, "Listen, a strange mustachioed human wearing an outfit identical to yours has just arrived in the Mushroom Kingdom, and basically is traveling with the woman I love. So, who is he?" And yes, he presses Luigi hard by pulling on Luigi's mustache. And Luigi cracks and says, Okay, it's my brother Mario." And Bowser's like, do princesses find him attractive? And Luigi's like saying, "Only if they got good taste." Okay. And Bowser, hearing this, he's not exactly thrilled. He then tells his guards to take Luigi to the dungeon, to lock Luigi up and they lock him up suspended in a small cage, mind you, above a freaking pit of lava. And Luigi's asking, "Where am I?" Only to see the prisoners of the Ice Kingdom, including the Penguin King himself. And then in an opposite cage, we see a blue Luma who says, the only way you're getting out of here is by death." And this Luma is, well, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. Because it had been locked into that cage for a long time. Who knows how long that Luma had been locked up. So we flash forward to the Coliseum, and Mario prepares to take on Cranky Kong's son, Donkey Kong, voiced by Seth Rogen. And Donkey Kong comes out with the Donkey Kong rap from Donkey Kong 64. Yes, that's right. And he's showboating and flexing his muscles, and the crowd is into it, and he's waving to his father, "Hi, Dad!" And Cranky Kong's like, no, don't do that." And Donkey Kong's like saying, "What do you mean? They like it." And then Cranky Kong says, "Alright, that's enough. Since I want this fight to last more than 5 seconds, I put power-ups all over the arena. You're welcome, Mario. And so the fight starts. And it's not looking so good for Mario in the first half of this fight. He's getting his butt kicked. He's getting his butt pounded across the arena as he's ducking, dodging, and getting his butt kicked badly. I mean, he almost gets his hands on a fire flower only for Donkey Kong to blow it out. And he even ate a mini mushroom only to get turned small and got knocked around like a ping pong ball. Donkey Kong uppercuts Mario when Mario says not even close when Donkey Kong tells him, "Are you done yet?" Mario quickly makes it to a power-up box and gets the cat power-up. Yes, that's right. So we get a Mario 3D World reference as Cat Mario appears. Mario uses the cat power-up to turn the tables on Donkey Kong, leading to him knocking out Donkey Kong and getting the victory. And not to mention, earning the right to use Cranky Kong's army. So now we go back to Donkey Kong's hut and the king being there as they begin to plan. Cranky Kong says, "We need cots." And so we get our next montage of AC/DC's Thunderstruck as our heroes are using a slot machine mechanic to build their own, cart. So yes, we're getting a reference to Mario Kart. We get a lot of references to Mario Kart 8 in this movie too. Like the hang glider, the slot machine mechanic, and not to mention we even get the Mario Kart 8 menu theme being played. Our heroes then set out to try to take the shortcut. Bowser then learns about Mario's victory over Donkey Kong and how he has won the services of the Great Kong Army. Bowser says, "Well, two can play this game." Bowser sets up an ambush of his own to ambush and cut off our heroes at the pass. A battle ensues along Rainbow Road. And I gotta say, this is probably my favorite part of the movie. Though, one thing with the toys that were released from the first movie, I did see Mario, Peach, and even Toad have their own carts, but I was kind of surprised we didn't get, one for Cranky Kong, I believe. I love the look of Cranky Kong's bike that he got, by the way. Either way you slice it, this is probably one of my favorite parts of this movie. As this whole big battle ensues on top of Rainbow Road, as they are driving their carts. Of course, after taking down a blue shell, thanks in part to help from Donkey Kong, the turtle who was a blue shell says, "That's it! No one messes with blue shell," and he goes into his shell, and we see the effects of the blue shell happen. And trust me, one thing you don't want to do with the blue shell, it is the most overpowered power-up in all of Mario Kart. I mean, there's nothing you can do to counter it. It will hit you after it circles around you and explodes like a bomb. Mario and Donkey Kong are knocked into the sea below, while Peach and Toad end up making it back to the Mushroom Kingdom, leaving Cranky Kong and the rest of his army to be captured by Bowser. Meanwhile, Donkey Kong and Mario hash it out in the belly of a giant eel. Only for the two of them to work on an escape plan that leads to them escaping from the eel. Meanwhile, Peach basically goes back to the Mushroom Kingdom with Toad, and she warns her people. The rest of the Toads and citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom began making their way out of the city. Peach said, "I will delay Bowser." Bowser arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom, saying, "Princess Peach, will you marry me?" As he is proposing to Princess Peach. But Peach is like, "Are you kidding me? You're doing this so you could propose to me?" And Bowser's like, "Yeah." And of course, Peach is reluctant to say yes, because of course this is Bowser we're talking about. So Bowser has to force Peach's hand when he uses Kamek, mind you, to use his magic on Toad. And she's like, okay, I'll marry you. Just don't hurt my toads. And then Bowser's like, "Alright, time for a wedding." As they are getting ready for the wedding, Peach is given a bouquet with an ice flower inside of it, after Toad had just handed her the bouquet. And of course, we see Bowser wearing his wedding tux from Mario Odyssey. Oh yes, I love the reference to Mario Odyssey, by the way, with Bowser's wedding tux, as he's just wearing the same wedding tux he wore throughout the Mario Odyssey game. Oh yeah, they got a lot of different Mario references throughout this movie. They referenced a lot of Mario's history throughout this movie. Of course, right as the wedding is about to start, Peach is like, "Do you really think I would marry you?" After Bowser had revealed to, make sacrifices of the thousands he had captured. And Bowser's like, "Yeah?" And Peach reveals the ice flower, and she goes on the attack. After Bowser said, "Oh, so I'm breaking up with you? Fine then, we're breaking up." And then, of course, Peach freezes Bowser in place, and then a fight breaks out. As Peach is using the ice flower, Mario and Donkey Kong quickly arrive into the Mushroom Kingdom's capital city, and of course we're seeing them fight alongside each other. We see Donkey Kong use the fire flower and Mario get a super mushroom. And Mario even gets the raccoon leaf during this montage of them working together. And he gets the Tanuki suit. Peach sets off King Bomb-Omb, only for the Bomb-Omb King to blow up, and Peach loses her power-up. Bowser gets free, and he says, "Lower the prisoners! And load the Bomber Bill and destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!" Mario quickly rescues his brother Luigi, and Donkey Kong rescues, his father, Cranky Kong, and the rest of his army, as well as the penguins. And of course, Mario uses the power of the Tanuki suit to try to stop the giant Bullet Bill or Bomber Bill from blowing up the entire Mushroom Kingdom. And of course, a chase ensues. And I gotta say, I love the visuals of this chase. I love the way this chase was set up and everything. And then, of course, Mario lowers the Bomber Bill to the warp pipe where he came in, only for the Bomber Bill to blow up after being sent through the warp pipe. Then, Bowser's entire castle, Mario, Donkey Kong, and the rest all get sent back to Brooklyn. Mario wakes up and he finds himself in Brooklyn, only to run into his old boss, Spike, who we saw earlier on in the movie. And Spike's like, "Mario, you nearly dented my truck!" And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And you see Bowser, he is furious. Bowser's like, "Mario, you ruined my wedding! You ruined everything! Now I'm going to destroy you! You see Mario having to dodge Bowser's fire, and it gets intense when Bowser gets angry. Mario takes cover in the pizza shop, only for Peach and Donkey Kong to distract Bowser. And it's not looking so good. Mario sees the broken TV of the commercial playing and gets the idea to save Brooklyn. Where Mario gets his courage, or Mario gets the courage to get back in there. I mean, despite the fact that he's pretty bruised up, Mario still comes back into the fray to fight Bowser. Mario tells Bowser to leave Donkey Kong alone and pick on someone your own size. Bowser goes after Mario again, as Mario is trying to get to the superstar, and Bowser's like saying, "No, that's mine! You can't have it!" Bowser launches his fire breath at Mario, only for Luigi to shield Mario with a manhole cover. Luigi says, "Don't worry, I got your back," and Mario grabs Luigi's hand, and the two quickly grab the Power Star. The two gain invincibility, and Bowser's like, "No!" Bowser sends the remainder of his army right at the brothers. And of course, you see Mario's parents watching this whole battle play out through their window, from the window and balcony of their apartment. As Mario's parents are watching their sons quickly defeat these giant turtles and piranha plants, and then leading to an epic face-off with Bowser, where Bowser gets beaten down by the two brothers. The two brothers beat down the giant turtle king. And then, of course, with Bowser defeated, Peach walks over to Bowser, and Bowser's like, "Hey, Peaches, listen, you could give me another chance." And then Peach just feeds Bowser a mini mushroom, and Mario said, "Told ya I'd get you a turtle," as they put Bowser in a glass jar, mind you. And of course, the citizens of Brooklyn celebrate. Spike is like saying, "Let's hear it for the Super Mario Brothers!" The Mario Brothers are hailed as heroes and had saved Brooklyn from the giant turtle man. Of course, now we cut to their new place at the Mushroom. Now we cut back to the Mushroom Kingdom the next morning, with the article of Brooklyn being saved, and Mario and Luigi settling down in their new house in the Mushroom Kingdom, as they live in the Mushroom Kingdom now. Mario and Luigi get a call, and they head off to work. And thus, the film ends. So that was the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023. Final thoughts? It was actually a really good movie. It definitely honored the legacy of what Super Mario was, and how to do a Super Mario movie right. Unlike that live-action atrocity from the 90s that shouldn't be mentioned, the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023 did what that movie couldn't do, and that was capture the lightning in a bottle and capture the attention to detail that was Super Mario. Anyway, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I'll see you later!